Hey, I am super excited, y'all. We are on episode 1515. Can y'all believe? Like, OMG.
Yes.
OMG.
15 weeks straight. And so,
Yes.
before we get started, we want to introduce ourselves. My name is Renette, aka the Next Level Chick. Mute.
Toya, you muted.
Muted.
All right, let's try this again. I'm Latoya Frazier, also known as your CEO partner.
I am simply Tammy, one of the spicy coaches.
I am Coach Gail Benson, your favorite certified cognitive behavior coach.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful. Again, we are super excited. We are on a total high because we are coming off of the Warrior Within, which was Sunday, which was our first inaugural event here in Orlando, Florida. And
Yes.
it was super amazing. It was top notch. It was just everything. And we're so grateful and thankful for all of the support, all of the wonderful comments that we have received. And so, again, thank you. Y'all look out for our next one. We'll be announcing that. We don't know when, but we'll let y'all know as soon as it comes up. We're just excited. So
Yes.
tonight we are here and we have a super fiery topic for you. And this episode is called Backstabbers and Leveling Up, Turning Betrayal into Power. Woo.
Yes.
We all know what it is to be backstabbed, okay? So
Yes.
in this fiery episode of the Spicy Season Sisters podcast, we are diving into the sting of betrayal.
Yes.
Ooh.
Right.
When friends, colleagues, or even family members show their true colors and leave you questioning their loyalty. But we're not staying in that hurt. We are flipping the script, okay? We are flipping the script. How do you heal? How do you rise? How do you use those experiences as fuel for your next level? We are going to unpack, okay, the lessons and share tools and resources, personal stories as well, and give you how to come out stronger, how to come out wiser, how to come out better and be more unstoppable than ever. See, when you are spicy, you don't get stuck, stale, and stagnant in what had happened to you.
Right.
You still show up so you can go up because you were called for a purpose and a reason. And you leave those enemies and that betrayal stuff to God. Because when God is in it, we already know we are going to win it. Okay? So what they are planning for you, God is planning for them. Woo!
Yes.
Okay?
That's a word.
It's
a collection plate.
So let us go ahead and talk about this thing because all of us have been there and it doesn't feel good at all. But you know what? What I do know, and I say it often, things go wrong so they can go right. And God has to show us who these people are.
Right.
And so once we know, how do we deal with it? So the first question is, have you ever experienced betrayal from someone you trusted? How did it impact you emotionally and mentally? Woo! This is a topic that is tough, but we got to talk about it. Y'all know we like to talk about stuff, the real, relevant, and the raw. Here we go.
Right.
Let's dive in.
Right.
Y'all want me to read it again?
No. But betrayal happens. Friends, family, loved ones, spouses, best friends, in many, many different forms. It is a painful effect. It drains your energy.
Yes.
It forces you into a position of having to fight, even if it's something that you did not do. People place you in a position to have to fight, to have to fight the pain of what they've delivered to you. Okay. And It's an emotional. It can be emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse. No matter the abuse, it's abuse, and it affects you psychologically, emotionally, mentally, physically. And we have to find a way. And it could be a domino effect on us where we do fall, but then we have to find a way to get back up. Okay. And betrayal. And the betrayal can come from someone that you love dearly. Okay. And in a sense of love, you think that, oh, love is just this beautiful, oh my God. But then it's when you get to know people and around people that they display the wrong energies. Okay. And that's when you begin to see who they are and what they represent. And I'll let somebody else speak.
Well, one of the things that I know, most of the betrayal comes from somebody that you love, somebody that you know, somebody that you told your deepest, darkest secrets to. Those are
Yes.
usually the people that betray you. It's not the people that we don't know, it's the people that we do know.
Right.
That I do know.
Right. Well, yeah, it happens like that. And I've been betrayed, and here recently. And more I went in with open-minded and ready to do in a positive manner. The other person wasn't. They were spewing negativity and all, and something I don't do. So the energies weren't matching, but it was
Right.
painful because you love and care for the person, and people have love and caring and mixed up. Okay. Love is not betrayal. Love is not abuse. Love is not, the person is not your enemy. They make you their enemy for some reason. It's supposed to be love.
Supposed to be, but a lot of times it's not. And so it's a tough subject. It's hard to talk about.
It
It
is.
brings back a lot of hurt. And
It does.
as we talk tonight or whatever, we just want to be honest and real.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times, especially as Black and brown women, we're the ones stuck in it, and we never want to share or tell, and never ever want to ask for help because we've been through betrayal, because we trusted somebody. And so one of the things that I want to say as I talk about this, what your friend tells you don't mean you're supposed to tell your other friend.
Right.
True.
That's supposed to be for you and you only. And
Yes.
sometimes people get that mixed up and messed up. That is a form of betrayal. If your
Right.
friend tell you something and they about maybe a husband or maybe whatever, and then you go, girl, her husband such and such and such. I don't
Right.
care if the three of y'all know each other.
Right.
It's your friend or other friend than you.
Right.
That's a form of betrayal. So
Right.
you really have to think about when you're doing these things or saying these things. And sometimes you might think, oh, it's okay because we're all friends, but you don't know what the one friend may be telling you this something, but they don't mean for you to tell the other person. So we never
Right.
know. So we have to be very, very, very cautious in that. And one of the things we have to think about is, what if they did that to you? How would you feel about it?
Right.
So do unto
Right.
others as you would have them to do unto you is one of the big things that I would say during this session. And we all have maybe made mistakes and done things or whatever.
Right.
But one of the things when you do it, own up to it, accept responsibility.
Right.
Why do we lie? Why do we go back and forth and then get mad and know we did it? Because that's the thing that
Right.
I see.
Accountability.
You
Accountability.
did it, and then
Right.
you want to try to act like, girl, whatever you doing. No, you're doing too much. You did something that made me feel some kind of way,
Right.
and I'm addressing it, and now you downplaying it. That's one thing that really ticks me off. So
Right.
anyways, I want to
Yeah.
go back to the question though, like when this has happened, have you experienced this betrayal from someone you trusted? And
Right.
and what did it do to you mentally and emotionally? Because I know with me, because my whole life has been in a way, I feel a betrayal. I do.
Right.
And so I felt like that. And for me to even open up and trust somebody and they do stuff and I'm feeling kind of teary just
Right.
talking about it, this is a
Right.
very tough subject for
It
me.
is. It is.
It's hard for me to really, when I do open up and I trust you, and then this happens, that affects me so much that I eat, drink, sleep. Like I feel like it bothers me for a long time. And until I can get out and say what I need to say, I'm not going to feel better. And then
Right.
one thing about me is when I'm mad and I have a problem, and y'all know this about me, I try to be quiet because it don't always come out correctly. And I know when the words come out, you can't change what you say.
What you say.
So I have matured enough to wait till I could say it in the proper way. For I say it in a way that you will never forget and probably never forgive me. And so I try to be quiet and be grown about it. But it's hard. I mean, we're human. And when people hurt you, sometimes people not in that space and place where they can hold themselves or not
Right.
say what they feel. So
Right.
to me, if
Right.
you would just think about what you're doing and try not to hurt people, but we make mistakes. Sometimes the backstabbing, people might have it confused and maybe think you did it on purpose and you didn't. So
Right.
I think that the better way to deal with it is when people own up. I mean, I've been backstabbed several times. I could tell several different scenarios, but
Yes.
it's different situations as to
Situation.
whether I can come back from it. But some
Right.
things you don't come back from.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And to speak to what both you and Tammy said, Renette, the outliers from backstabbing, it's multifaceted because once you
Right.
break that trust
Right.
with that one person, if you are the person that's going and sharing someone's breaking someone's confidence, that doesn't just resonate right there in that space between you and that person, because that's going to affect and impact how they deal with the people
Yes.
coming in their future
That's
lives.
true. That's
And
true.
that seed is going to take root. The trust is going to be broken.
Yes.
And, the things that we don't like to look at or talk about is when we kind of do it in retrospect and turn that microscope around on ourselves,
Right.
because we're not often ready to process during the painful part of the betrayal. We're not ready to process exactly like, what did this person exhibit? What is it with this person that
Right.
I
Right.
probably shouldn't be surprised that they betrayed me?
Right.
And to what capacity do we have this friend or associate in our life? Because they're your friend to their capacity. That may be normal for them to gossip and tell people's business because they don't know any better. That's all they've seen. And we don't understand the capacity in which we expect from people versus what they have to give. And
Right.
then for us, how do we separate ourselves from the act? How do we separate ourselves from the betrayal so that we don't get lost and stuck in the act of the betrayal versus empowering ourselves to learn a lesson from that betrayal and about that person? And we have to stop wanting people to be what we want them to be
To be
and accept
exactly
them for
for
who
who
they
they are.
show us that they are. Because a lot of times when the masks fall off, we're so hurt behind what we expected them to be or what they
Yes.
presented themselves to be, and we believed
Yes.
it versus seeing who they are
Right.
and leave them there in that capacity. Betrayal happens to all of us, even young in ages of young children.
True.
So how do we teach our young women how to overcome the pain of the betrayal and how to turn that pain into purpose and power? How do we do that? How do we school, the young ones? How do we heal ourselves? Because I hold on to some stuff.
Me too.
I am growing from holding grudges, because when you hand me scissors to cut you off, you are cut off forever. The head and the tail ain't growing back. You are not coming back. I
Right,
promise
right,
you, you're not
right,
coming back. Ain't gonna be no
right,
you when I cut you off, it's a DNR. You will not be resuscitated. You ain't
right,
coming back from that. And
right,
how do we are we supposed to um
I
grow and
want to
allow
talk
these
about it.
people the space to are we supposed to, you know, allow people to grow and learn from their mistakes? Because what history has taught me is the biggest apology is change behavior. And I often see the same old thing from the
Right.
same old people. That's why I don't run in them same old
right,
spaces. You
right.
understand what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah,
when
Yeah.
that season of separation come in for me.
right.
It's a
I,
wrap.
Agreed.
I totally
Agreed.
feel you, Gail, on that. One of the things that, so I've been blown many times, like when somebody just like flipped the script and you thought they were your friend, and especially if somebody approaches you about something and say that like you the issue or you did the thing.
Right,
One of the
right,
things that I have really learned to do in my life in reference to people who have backstabbed me, especially when they come and approach me and act like I've done something. One thing very important to me is that I introspect, that I, introspection, retrospection, that I'm looking at. And I always try to ask myself, what part did I play in this? Because I don't ever want to belittle somebody's feelings or whatever the case may be. So if because backstabbing comes in different ways, because it could be somebody that just talking behind your back, this, that, or whatever. But in a couple of instances, I've been approached as if I did something when I didn't really do anything. And
right,
it's just me being me and how I act, and that I don't accept stuff. And a lot of times people can't handle that. I'm not going to accept nothing. I'm going to keep fighting. And also I'm doing too much and this and that. And then, I've been called all kinds of names because I think I'm this. And that's why nobody don't like me and this. And I'm like,
right,
whoa, where are
right,
you coming?
right,
Like, that's a whole
Hmm.
backstab
right,
that I'm just like blown by when I've heard that. And so I'm like, I guess I sometimes when I've been backstabbed, I felt so stunned because I've been approached like that like twice. That I did this and I did that and I'm doing too much and I'm trying to take over this or I'm trying to do that. One of the things that I feel with backstabbing and why it really upsets us a lot of times, because sometimes it's not really a surprise. We see the stuff. We ignore the red flags. And
Mhm.
that's why I was talking about we have to look at the part we have played in it.
Okay.
Because many times a lot of it is something we've done. We've seen it. I can tell you in situations where I felt things, I saw things, I dreamt things, and I tried to look past it. I tried to see the good. I tried to make it better. I tried to fix them instead of doing what I needed to do and step back. I can't fix nobody but me.
but you
But
have
we've
to
Yeah.
have that
done,
understanding. You have to have that understanding, though.
yeah, all of
Yeah.
us have done that. Where we try to fix people, and you see every time you see them red flags, but you keep on and you don't stop and you don't address it. So one of
Mhm.
the things that I do now when I see stuff, I stop. I
Right,
try to figure out what my part is in the situation. And
right,
then I'm gonna talk to people. I'm gonna approach them. If they piss me off, I'm not gonna approach them as quickly because I'm a work in progress. I am a Christian and I love the Lord, but I'm still a work in progress. So I need some help sometimes with my mouth. So I hold off, and sometimes when I hold off, it's not good. I like
Yeah.
to just say stuff and say what I feel, but I like to say it appropriately too. So I'm in a space and place where I'm working on it, but I like to address. Y'all already know how I move. I don't like to wait. I like to handle things, but I'm learning at this big age that I must learn to just sit back. Sometimes you gotta watch, you gotta wait. And that's where y'all come in. Y'all have come in my life anyway. It's been real good. So when y'all
mhm,
see stuff, and when
mhm.
you have people like that, that's really good. When you have people who can help you to see the other side or keep you calm. Because some
Right.
people be hyping you up. Girl, girl, I'm on, all that kind of stuff.
But Renette, you know that there are people out there who there are ladies out there who are not as strong as other women,
Right.
and they find themselves in that situation and they don't know how to get out of it, and then they're afraid to get out of it because then they feel like they're going to lose a friend or they're going to lose something. And I think the key to everything is to protect your energy, protect your health, your mindset. But there,
Correct.
some people are just not strong that way, and that's why we talk about having a tribe around you that can say,
Mhm.
hey, look, stop, no, hey, yes. I'm very lucky to have that around me. And I've been in a place and space where I had my good friends telling me, hey, no, don't, hey, time out. And I looked right over what they were saying. And what did I do? Walked right into a firestorm. Okay. So now I pay attention, and that leads you to talk to understanding discernment and intuition. It's okay to turn your back and go the other way. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect yourself. And then what happens if you don't do that? You're going and you're
Yeah.
complaining to other people about whatever situation, but you're not doing anything to correct it. So now you've involved other people. Now they're involved, and so it's just like a domino effect. So we really and let me tell you, betrayal. I just finished writing a chapter on betrayal this week. Okay, so this topic just falls right in line with what I dictated this week. But ladies, take a time to evaluate who you are. I had to do it. Thank God I was willing to learn and grow. And the other thing is you spoke about people talking. Be quiet.
That part.
Measure the room, measure the people around you. I had to learn to do that too. It's a learning process, but good
Yes.
God Almighty, I'm glad I did, because now I can protect myself, protect my energy, protect my emotional, my mental, my psychological state.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And one thing I'll add to that, in terms of answering the question, most of the betrayal that I've experienced that I cared about, right? Because all of it wasn't a big deal, is family, right? And I've struggled with one particular relationship over the years. And, I've, tried to, not tried to, I've owned my part in the scenario. However, it's been disappointing because when the betrayal happened, and I'm like, well, this is something that I share with you. We talked about it before. Why would you share this information with someone? And the answer that I was given was that, well, I only shared it with the family. And I'm thinking, well, hell, if I wanted the family to know, I would have told them. I shared it with you,
Right, right. There you go.
So and the person continues to wonder why we're not as close as we are, and it's very disappointing and very hurtful. And someone once said, it wouldn't be as hurtful if you took the role of the relationship, like who that person is to you, and just saw them as a person. If you just see them as a person and you take out the role of who they are to you, it would be as hurtful. Because sometimes we have higher expectations for individuals based on the role that they play in your life,
Right.
especially as family members. So, I'm at peace with where we are, in the relationship. And, they're not, or at least it doesn't appear to be. But I'm okay with that. At this big age, I'm not going to continue to stress over it. I've been doing it for the majority of my life, and it's just not worth my mental health anymore, mental or emotional health.
I want to say something about that, Latoya. When you said take the role out and just see them as a person, I understand that very well. I don't. This topic is really making me emotional. I don't even like. Oh, I'm struggling right now, but
Hang in there.
sometimes it's very hard to remove the role depending on the relationship you've had, the person or the role that it is. And so, with that being said, this is where the therapy, the counseling, and this
There we
stuff
go.
comes in.
Right.
Because y'all know my struggle. I talk about it often, and sometimes I for the longest I can do it now in certain situations, but for many times I've not been able to remove that role.
Yeah.
Especially if I feel like you're supposed to be here, you're supposed to do this, and you don't expect that from certain people. But now where I am, it's nothing that I don't expect.
Right.
And I don't like that feeling, especially when it is family, because those are, you would think, are the last people that are supposed to stab you in your back.
You would
True.
think.
But
You
many
would think. You would think.
You
you
would
would
think.
think, but many times they're the first people. And it's just not a good feeling. And it's a very
At all.
tough pill to swallow. It's hard to move past, but we have to be able to get in the space and place again to understand what it is. We can't pray it away. You can pray, but you can't pray it away. You got to sometimes do the work. Prayer requires more than prayer many times.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
I just been praying and praying and praying. But you
Agreed.
praying and praying and praying, you got to get some strategy behind that prayer. You
Right.
got to get some direction behind that prayer. So if you've been in the space and place to where you have felt like you were backstabbed and you were praying, and maybe you were just praying for vengeance. Vengeance is the Lord. God, take care of them, cause but yet and still you saying God take care of them, but you still stressed and pressed. You still mad and bothered every time you seeing them. You feeling something. You got something in the pit of your stomach.
Those triggers.
Right. The prayers are. I'm not gonna say they're not working, but they're not working for real. It's true, because you've got to work your prayers. So when you praying against them or for them and their vengeance, you need to pray for yourself too, and
Right.
move forward and take action to get the counseling, to get your mindset right, to journal, to
Right.
do stuff, to stop
Right.
talking about it, to stop rehearsing the hurt over and over and over. And that's what we do. We rehearse stuff over and over and over. And then you let the people keep bringing it up to you. Why don't you just say the conversation is done? It's closed. Sometimes you got to shut stuff down, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
And so we've got to learn to shut it down. So with that being said, another question I want to ask is, as we've dealt with this backstabbing situation,
Right.
what are red flags that someone might not have your best interest at heart? What are those red flags? Because I know I got one.
What is that?
When they give let me say slicklaments. They're supposed to be compliments, but they're slick. They really
Slick.
trying to
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
slicklaments, not compliments. And they stand stuff, and it's really snide. It's really something to try to put you down. But they
Right.
acting like they trying to compliment you, and you know they really being slick. Or I thought you said, or you didn't do that, or it's always something. You have that one friend that's always saying something slick. That's always having a side eye. That's always trying to point out what you didn't do or what you did say. That's a form of backstabbing.
Well,
And
they take the light off of themselves and try to
Right.
put it on you, and that has then you're talking about insecurities then, and then see, someone who's your friend that's not a friend.
correct.
Okay, that's
But
the
that's
first
a red
thing.
flag that many
It's a
people ignore.
Right. It's a red flag. There are a lot of red flags.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about them.
A lot of red flags. People are not consistent. They say what they're going to do. They say, let's do. They say. There's no action. You
But is
5
that
years.
backstabbing?
Yes, it is.
Could be,
Especially
yeah.
if you're in a union and you're in a relationship or a friendship and there's an agreement. And then we agreed, okay, this is going to happen. This is what we're doing. And you're the only one in there doing it. And they're AWOL some kind of way. It goes deep. It goes so deep. It goes on in marriages.
That's why
It goes on in friendships. It goes on be friends. I've had A best friend backstab me. I've had 2 spouses backstab me. Listen, I'm a good woman. Some of the stuff that happened, I was like amazed, and how people can say they love you and do what they did and say what they say, and then want to come back in your life. No, it doesn't work that way. You work together for the good of what you want to accomplish, for the good of the relationship, for the good of the friendship, for the good of the family, for the good of the S and the good of the that. You don't work against it. Some people weren't taught how to not be negative. Some people weren't taught how to not be a certain way.
Right.
Okay. We have to learn that we have to defend for ourselves. Okay. And nobody's going to do it for us. If we keep allowing people to do what they do to us, then we're going to keep failing. We're going to keep failing. And we're not going to glow up and grow up and fight up like we're supposed to. You know, nobody owes you anything. We owe everything to ourselves.
A lot of people feel like, you know, they see the red flags, but they want to love the red flags out of them and ignore the backstabbing, and that's something
Doesn't
that
work.
really allows you to hurt yourself.
Love in the world.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about how to move past this, how to glow up. Because sometimes, many times when stuff happens, sometimes you're blown when it happens, but many times you saw it all along and you allowed it. And y'all know the saying of what you allow will and shall continue. And so as you see it and keep thinking that you're going to pray it away, that you're going to love the red flags out of them, you keep trying to be just as sweet as possible. But we've got to stop doing that. When you see the red flags, when you see somebody that's your friend, they showing up for the other person, but they never show up for you. They could do everything for everybody else, but they can't do it for you. They could compliment everybody else, but then they got something negative to say about you and your relationship. Those are red flags of jealousy, red flags of I might want your man. You know, you don't never know what these people got going on these days. And so when we see these red flags, I encourage you to not ignore them. Okay, because you start to get these feelings. I don't ignore my gut anymore. When I feel it,
not anymore.
I move away. I might watch it 1 or 2 times and try to ask myself questions. And Tammy said it earlier. You have to be observant. You have to watch. When you step in rooms, when you step in places, you have to watch. You have to listen.
Be observant.
How they move. Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of times we just want to be their friend so bad that we ignore these things, and we cannot. So we've got to get in a space and place as you see the smallest of things. Don't ignore it. Because y'all know what? Small things become big things.
That's right.
And most of the times that's what happens. It's a series of little things.
Right. And
it's happened over and over, and then it turns into this big thing where it blows up. They working their way. You know, they done put it already, but now they twisting that knife that they put in your back. So we can't allow that to keep happening. So how do you handle betrayal in a way that it protects your peace, but also keeps you from being petty? How do you not be petty Betty when somebody has really betrayed you? How do you keep your peace?
For me, I have to remove myself from the situation. And I've done that before. But yet, although some that knew the situation and knew what the betrayal was and who betrayed me because of who the person was, I was judged for removing myself. You know, why are you not talking to them? Why are you not returning their calls? You know, why are you not doing this? Well, 1, because I'm still hurt. And 2, I'm not going to allow that person to continue to hurt me and pretend like it's okay, because what you don't acknowledge in terms of, you know, people mistreating you, and you continue to allow that, they're going to continue to do it.
Right.
And I'm not willing to, I wasn't willing, and I'm not willing to let anybody treat me any type of way. And what I posted just a minute ago, don't get in the habit of collecting red flags. 1 is enough. So sometimes, we start, collecting the red flags. Oh, maybe it's a yellow flag. Maybe it's an orange flag. It ain't quite red. Let me see, what color this flag is going to be. But at the end of the day, like you said, trust your gut, right? Now, most times it's going to, be right on point. And we have to learn to listen to our intuition. And you can only give people so many chances to disappoint you, to disrespect you, and if we allow it, they will continue to do it.
Can I add something? And I want to say this: the way we grow up teaches us sometimes how to respond. So if we've seen, and we talked about this, our very first episode, I think, where we have learned behaviors.
Yes.
And we grow up and we continue those behaviors, and we haven't paid attention to the fact that the behavior is not acceptable. But because we saw others in our family, our mother, grandmother, aunt, whomever raised you, or they did it, we think it's correct. So we have to think about these things. And sometimes people cannot remove themselves from where they came from. So,
totally agree.
And I want to speak to the question. Sadly, we are conditioned to working wounded. We're conditioned that, when somebody hurts us, we're supposed to play nice and make it right. And we have to stop telling ourselves that, because that
amen.
we start moving around and positioning ourselves where, we are to teach people how to treat us.
Yes.
So if we're continuing to allow you to demonstrate these characters and we're still okay, we're giving you permission to continue to do it. We're conditioning them that, she's not going to say nothing. Oh, well, I'm going to keep doing this. And I'm not charged to have new behaviors. I'm not going to be charged with respecting their boundaries or respecting them as a person, because we're teaching people how to treat us. So with that being said, we have to treat ourselves and make ourselves a priority. We have to respect our own boundaries, or learn how to enforce some and implement some. And when we respect our boundaries, you have to enforce it for other people to respect those boundaries. This is my position about recouping and recovering from backstabbing. Because I will tell you this: if somebody ran up to me and just beat me down, if someone ran up to your children and just beat them down, you expect them to get up and say, no, it's okay. It's okay. I still want to be your friend. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that. I have the right to protect myself, my peace of mind, and my energy. I don't owe an explanation or an apology to anyone outside of me, because no one gets to tell me how I respond to bad treatment. No one gets to tell me that when I can or cannot acknowledge my feelings and my emotions, because people try to play on that with women and say, oh, you're so emotional. Baby, that's how God created us. If you have a problem with that, you don't have to take that up with the creator, because that's how he made us. He made us to be able to communicate and acknowledge our feelings, because that's how our families get nurtured. But speaking of nurturing the families, like Tammy said, like Renette said, our childhood rearing has taught us that we're supposed to play nice and we're supposed to forgive and turn the other cheek. Yes, I am a certified master life coach. Yes, I am a certified cognitive behavior coach. But I want to tell you here loud and clear tonight on this podcast that Jesus paid it all. I didn't. Jesus hung on that cross for you. I did not. When I tell you, when you come at me wrong, I'm going to govern myself accordingly. My peace is priceless.
Thank you.
I don't care who you go tell, but what you going to do is tell that story walking, because I don't want to hear nothing about why you said, who said, and so want to know why you bad at me. I'm not doing any of that because what I do to protect myself and my peace, that's
Right.
between me, myself, and I. And I'm gonna sleep real good at night, but I had to learn how to do that. And there's so
Yeah.
many of us that hold on to explaining why we mad, explaining
Right.
why we feel disrespected,
Right.
explaining our hurt, but we
Right.
don't even acknowledge the hurt because we feel vulnerable and upset that we
Right.
did allow this person to hurt us. So
Right.
how do we separate ourselves and
Mm-hmm.
heal when you
Mm-hmm.
still got your oppressor and your violator wanting
Mm-hmm.
still to maneuver in your space?
Wow.
Why don't we want to have these conversations with people and tell them, listen, that's not sitting well with me. I'm just not doing that. And I
Right.
say this all the time. Y'all heard me say it before. I'm gonna give you the grace to be over there, and I'm gonna give myself the peace to leave you there. Because
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
not doing that. I no longer have expectations of you when you show me
Yes.
who you are.
Right.
Well, my thing, Gail, is
Wow.
um,
Nice.
that I love everything that you said, but
Yes.
I've been in a situation where I've been betrayed, and I don't go approach people sometimes, depending on what the situation is. I
Mhm.
don't go explaining. I just step out of that way so I can
Right.
keep my peace, because many times when people do stuff, they know what they did. So I don't got to go and explain and tell you, and then they come, well, why you acting funny? Why? Ain't
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what you did. I
Yep.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
or sometimes I might not say anything. They may text and me trying to explain. They try to see where you are and how far
Mm-hmm.
they could get.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about it is, like Gail said, I leave people where they are,
Right.
depending on the situation. If you
Right.
know what you did and you did what you did, and I
Right.
see it and I find out, I figure it out, I hear situation,
Yes.
and I'm pissed off, I'm
Yes.
backing away. I ain't got to explain nothing to you. I ain't got to
Yeah.
talk to you. I'm just
Mhm.
done.
Just done.
I'm done. And
Done.
sometimes we just
Mhm.
have to be done. I
Done.
don't, and I'm not gonna carry it.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna move past it. That's how I keep my peace. And that was one of the questions I have. What's the first step in healing after being betrayed? You have to make a decision
Right.
to decide, what do I need to do, because everything does not have to be addressed.
Right.
And sometimes people got to get that say, have their last word, their 2 cents, or they
Mm-hmm.
listening to somebody tell them, girl, you can't let that happen. You got to get that taken. No, you have to do what you need for you. Just because they think you should do it.
Right.
And most people, and this is one thing my mom used to always say, and I'm not going to say she followed it, but she said it. We still need to stop taking it to the phone and take it
Yes.
to the throne.
Yes.
And that be the first thing we do is pick up the phone and go start talking and telling this person and that
Yeah.
person, picking up the phone. Then you calling the next person. What are you looking for? Validation? What do you need them to
Yep.
validate that they missed somebody, to validate that you were mistreated or backstabbed? You know for yourself. So you don't have to go through all of that. Like I said, when I see stuff I don't like, I ain't got to address you. It just depends on the situation. If I need to, I will. If you're not even worth my time to address, then I won't. I just won't talk to you. And then if I care for you and you done made me mad, I shut up and I don't address you, because we might never talk again. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when there are situations where I feel like I've been backstabbed,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's not a done deal. Have y'all had situations where you felt betrayed and it was not a done deal? Have you been able to go back?
Uh, well,
I
tried,
have done it,
didn't work.
unfortunately.
Yeah, tried, didn't work. But Burnett, we had a conversation last night. You and I had a conversation, and you made a statement, and I said no, and you said why, and I said because I want to say history, but the way in which things had occurred already answered our question. So we
Mhm.
didn't need to go any further with it. And when I said that to you, you kind of said, you know what, you're right. And as we noticed, because we kind of left it alone, things kind of worked itself out without us having to address what was spoken about.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's correct, Tammy. We did figure out sometimes when you leave it alone, it does work itself out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything doesn't have to be addressed. You don't always have to have the last word. You don't even have to have a word.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we feel like we have to have a word. Like what Toya said, you feel like you got to explain it. You got to go talk to other people. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have to do all of that.
Right.
We need to.
Silence is golden.
Yes.
Hey, speaks
That right
volumes.
there
Yes.
speaks for
Yes.
itself. It speaks
Yes.
louder than the words that you could possibly ever speak.
Yep.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
Let me
that's
tell
I
you,
think. No, I was going to say that's a form of healing.
Yes,
Sometimes
it
just
is.
being silent is a form of healing. There's
Yeah.
so many ways you can heal yourself without addressing it. And we know that we can journal. We know that we can get counseling. We
Right.
know that we can meditate. We know
Right.
that we can pray. We know there are lots of ways that we can heal ourselves
Correct.
instead of sitting in the same space and place and
Right.
being angry and holding
Right.
on to stuff. One
Right.
thing I do know, when you hold on to it, you ain't hurt nobody but you.
True.
Nobody but you. So you gotta find a way
absolutely.
to heal. And that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And Gail, did you want to say something before I went to the next thing?
What I was, going to share is that, we gotta be confident knowing that we have the power to take our power back. We
Yes.
cannot allow people to have permanent residency in our space, in our mind, and in our heads. We have to
Yes.
take our power back, release that thing back into the wild.
Yes.
The best thing I did for me with
Mm-hmm.
healing, and I had to heal because I felt like I had finally just gave something a shot and opened myself up and gave all of myself, and that thing still turned out raggedy, bumpy, mucked up, and fried, died, and laid to the side. But what I did was I had to remove myself from the pain because reliving it, because I was
Yes.
using the pain as a tool to keep myself angry and separated.
Right.
But that wasn't me healing. I was continuing to toxify myself with the anger, with the hurt. I
Right.
didn't start healing until I removed myself from the pain. I'm
Yes.
like, why am I giving this so much power over me?
Right.
And the more I started releasing it, the better I felt.
Right.
The more I felt healed,
Right.
truly healed.
Right.
No, probably not even to this day, because there's still some choice things I'm still gonna say about the situation, but I don't live in that space. I can look back at it and see my growth because I did remove myself from the
Mm-hmm.
pain and I
Mm-hmm.
took my power back, and
Mm-hmm.
now I'm loving life,
Yes,
loving
ma'am.
myself right in their face, and they have to deal with that because I have my power back. So you do have the opportunity. Take your power back. Kick these people out of your heads and out of your minds. Don't take
Mm-hmm.
them with you losing sleep, carrying anger around.
Right.
Take your power back.
And
Correct.
that affects your health and your hair falling out, losing weight, gaining weight, overeating, on pills, doing this, doing that. Uh, you're right, Gail. Take your power back, Heal.
So let me
Heal.
ask you about taking your power back. So is it when you some people think they've taken their power. Let me tell you, when we talk about taking the power back, because this is very important.
Right.
Because some people feel like, oh, I took my power back. I ain't gonna never trust nobody again. I'm gonna be guarded in everything that I do. Is that really
Mhm,
taking your power
mhm.
back? So now you can't trust nobody. Now you guarded in everything that you do. I feel like we have to be really careful to make sure that people understand. And if that's how you take your power back, you're putting yourself in a box
Right.
because you
Right.
could missing out
Imprisoning
on
yourself.
many opportunities because you think you're taking your power back when all you're doing is boxing yourself in. There is a
Right.
difference between boxing yourself in and taking your power back. So you have to make sure that you are really taking your power back because some people gotta. We gonna keep saying it. You gotta go get the help
Right.
to take your power back. You may
Right.
not be able to do it by yourself. Some
Right.
things you can't do by yourself. So if you're that guarded that you can't trust nobody anymore, you don't move for, I'm going to just stay to myself. I'm going to be in the house. I ain't going to be bothered. I don't want to be around these women. I ain't going to never have me no another relationship. I'm done with men. I ain't going to. That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's not taking your power back. That
Right.
is allowing yourself to be stale, stuck, and stagnant.
And block your
Stuck in a
blessings.
box.
Mhm.
Yes,
Blocking your blessings.
correct. So we just have to point that out. Taking your power back is great,
Right.
but you need to know the difference because there is a difference.
Right.
There
And
is.
so as we talk about this, what role does forgiveness play in this when you do feel betrayed? What role does this play? Because we have a lot of people that, ooh, I'm going to forgive, but I ain't going to forget. So sometimes that forgetting means it's no forgiveness.
Right.
So a lot of things we say, our mouth say, but our actions are not showing the forgiveness. You ain't
Right.
forgot and you ain't forgave.
Yeah.
Right.
So those are things that, we just have to point out for people to understand. We want
Right.
you to think deep about this because
Right.
it's happening to us. We've all been backstabbed. And it may be somebody from back in the day. You ain't gonna never ever be able to forget what they did. And you
Right.
called yourself I forgave them. But then you get on the phone, ooh, child, you ain't really forgave them.
Right.
So we want to just bring up things that y'all can think about.
Mm-hmm.
But I want people to understand as we choose to move past the betrayal in certain ways, that you can take yourself to another level. So, how many moments of betrayal have taken you to a space and place of new levels?
A lot. A
I
lot.
can say that for me too.
Because you got
But
to find a way to grow. You have
you have
to
to find
find
a
a way
way
to
to
grow.
grow. And you have
Yeah,
to find a way to change your tolerance for certain things. And then you have to get tired of wanting to feel all that pain. So you have to move away from it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just know that it takes time for the healing process to take place in
Yeah.
your life. It doesn't just
Yeah,
happen because you say it.
I love that,
yeah.
Tammy.
And I want to
I
go
love
back
the
to
time.
something
Go ahead.
Latoya said. Healing looks different for each of us, and we have to do what works for us. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
hardest thing I think that most people, most women, most of us fight with is making sure we talking to the right people. You
Right.
cannot expect to go to people and just talk to them about healing because a lot of people are not receptive to healing because again, healing looks different for every single person. So when we say
Mm-hmm.
get the help, it's not picking up the phone, calling your cousin, the same person who was gossiping and talking to you about the whole event and got
Right.
so much to say. You want,
Right.
when we say get the help, we mean licensed, credentialed professionals.
Right.
Yes, there's power in prayer, but you
Mm-hmm.
can't be pitiful in your prayer if you're not going to get the help.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the help and understand what healing looks like for you. And a lot of us don't know what that looks like because we've never healed and we've never
Right.
done the work to do that very thing. So what does healing look like for you based on the betrayal, based on who it is, based on how many times they did it? What does healing look like for you? And what are your stumbling blocks to getting to the help? I
That's
would tell
true.
you to look in the mirror first off.
There
Why
you
are we
go.
afraid
That
to
part.
reach
That
that
part.
help? Don't be
Yeah.
your own stumbling block. Don't be your
Tammy
own
said
monkey
something.
wrench or your own worst enemy.
Yeah, Tammy, you said
Like
something
Renee says
good.
all the time, don't let yourself be the weapon formed against you to prosper.
Yeah.
Don't hinder yourself.
Right, right,
Correct, correct. Tammy said something about that was real important.
right.
Take your time. Because a lot of people, you've been backstabbed, you've been hurt, but you don't take your time. You jump into the next thing, trying to heal from that. Jumping to the next thing is not really healing that thing.
That's true.
You got to take your time and
Yes.
work on moving past that situation.
Yes.
Don't think, oh, I'm gonna jump in this. I gotta get another man to take care of this man, so I can forget this man.
Right.
You do it all the time.
Yes.
I can say I used to do that back in the day when I was a youngin'.
Right.
I'm real grown now.
Right.
So I don't do that. But we have to take our time in certain situations. We have to take time to heal, because what we do know is that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so don't now be this hurt person hurting other people.
Right.
And that's very important. Delia said your story of healing can be someone else's survival guide.
Yeah.
Amen. For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Very,
And
very
I've shared that before, probably last week or the week
That's
before,
good.
is that
That's a good one.
somebody's story saved me. So somebody sharing their story of what they went through allowed me and gave me kind of permission to say, you know what, if they went through that and they can overcome that, so can I. So I always tell people, when you keep your story to yourself, that's being selfish, because so many people can benefit from you telling your story,
Yes.
because you know your testimony could help someone else. So think about it when you're in that
Wow.
space and place when, you know, some of the things that we've gone through, you know, may come with embarrassment and shame, but when
Yes.
you feel, you know, healed enough to be able to share, you just never know who your story is helping.
Yes.
Absolutely. This is such a heavy topic, and
It is.
I feel like it's so much more to talk about. We're
Right.
coming towards an hour,
Right.
and we did have a spicy challenge, and I definitely want to get
Yes.
to that, because that's so exciting. Thank you all for everyone that sent their information in. We appreciate it. We saw it, and the first person to get that in. Well, Toya, you want to do the honors? We said we were going to
Sure.
talk about the story and everything. So
Yeah, so sure. So the first person to get their story in is being honored tonight. And I'm so happy that they're actually, you know, they're part of the Spicy Squad tonight. So
Yes.
please forgive me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but Kui was the first person to get their story in for the challenge. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
And I'm gonna pass it back to you to kind of talk about what that means.
okay, you had the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me pull that up.
Queen, thank you.
Remember
You are the
last
first
time.
person. Congrats.
Congratulations, Queen.
Woo woo. So first, before we actually
Love
read
it.
the story, she's going to be getting a prize.
Yes.
So we need to get your information so that we can get the prize to you, and make sure that, you know, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that chose to participate, but we're especially excited to give away a prize, and we're excited about our challenges as well. So yeah. We got a new challenge for y'all this week, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, you know, just high level, the challenge was talking about, you know, some things that you've done over the past several weeks. If I'm stating it right, so how you've overcome some of the things that you've done. So Queen stated that I'm taking a bold and transformative step, choosing to join a grief support group to not only confront my pain, but to learn the skills to navigate through it. I lost my dad February 17th of 21, and it's a daily struggle. Grief has had a way of making me feel isolated, like I'm carrying the weight of the world alone. So there was more. So I just want to share that high level overview, but congratulations. Sometimes it's hard for us to be able to step out and seek the support and the help that we need. And to be able to do that is definitely, you know, overcoming. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for being the first to submit, and congratulations. And we are so excited, and we will actually be getting you your gift. And don't hesitate to participate in the next Spicy Challenge.
Right. Nice.
Awesome.
Yes,
We love it.
And Quee, this is why we're doing what we're doing. And we're so proud of you.
Yeah.
Yes, because we want you to step out and do bold things, spicy things. And I definitely feel your sentiment, because I feel the same way, and I cry every day, and it was through therapy that
Yes.
I can move forward,
Yes.
but it's still a struggle every single day.
Yes.
And so joining a grief counseling is so much more than you probably ever would expect. So
Right.
I'm really just proud of you for doing that. We are all proud of you. That is
Yes.
amazing, amazing, amazing. So
Yes.
just pat yourself on the back for stepping up and doing it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. Proud of you.
death is never easy or simple.
Yeah. Been there. Yes.
And shout out to Gail for being
We
a
love
huge
you.
support for you.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you,
Yeah.
Gail. It's our girl.
It's phenomenal working
Yes.
with her.
Yes. Queen is
Our
coming
big
on the
queen
cruise.
completed one
All
of
right.
Queen is coming on the cruise, and it is also
Yeah.
going her birthday as well. So
All
yeah,
right.
we're gonna be
Oh, we're gonna
Nice.
doing
be
all
really
the shenanigans
celebrating.
all
Y'all,
weekend.
come on the cruise. Come on the cruise. Let's talk about this cruise real quick.
Yes.
So the
Yes,
cruise is
please.
October 17th through the 20th.
Yes.
It is porting out of Port Canaveral in Orlando.
Yes.
And we have some exciting nights. So the first night is white night, baby. We getting ready. When we go places, we take over. We just gonna tell y'all now. We take over. We bring the spice to wherever it is we going, and you
Yes.
a part of it. So you're gonna be bringing the spice too. So the first night is white night. October, y'all know, is Breast Cancer and Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So we're going to have a pink and purple night to recognize those months. And that month of October, also the third night is going to be fedora. Y'all know that's our symbol. We wear fedora.
Yes.
So we're going to have a fedora party. We're going to take over. We taking over. Hey, we taking over that ship. We're going to be on the Utopia, which is the second largest ship right now, the newest ship for the Royal Caribbean, and
Yes.
it is a beast. Okay, I've seen it myself. Next to the last ship I was on, I was like, oh. So y'all don't want to miss this. Y'all don't want to miss it. It's going to be just a fantastic. Let me see, fantastic. I was trying to get that word right. Fantastic time. And Queen, it's your birthday, and it's Gail's birthday, so y'all gonna be turning up. And actually, when y'all come on, every day is a
All the
new
way
day, and
up.
every day is a birthday. So we all gonna celebrate. So don't
Yes.
feel like, oh no, oh Miss
Absolutely.
Ella, where you at? We need you on that cruise. Sonya, all of y'all, we need y'all on that cruise, baby. We about to turn up. Okay.
All right, Miss Ella.
Okay, we're gonna turn up. Oh, Miss Ella, we really need you. Huh. Okay. You already know. Okay, so with that being said, also y'all want to know what the spicy challenge is for this week? Okay, here we
Yes.
go. Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. The spicy challenge for this week. First of all, we hope that you are already subscribed to our YouTube page and definitely our Facebook page. This week, the person that brings in the most members to the Facebook page, have them put your name, invite them, and then let us know, hey, and we find out who got the most members to that page this week coming up. Next week, Wednesday is April 3rd?
Yes.
April 3rd. So y'all have to April 3rd. Well,
April
yeah, April
2nd.
3rd.
Is it the 2nd?
The second is, oh, no, it's the 3rd. Yeah. Okay, we got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
April 3rd, whoever's bought the most people to that page, the most people who like, you got to have your person like the page. Let us know that name, or you let us know, we can see, and you get a prize. That's the spicy challenge for this week. We are bringing more people onto our page. We want to help as many women as possible to live the spicy life. It is our dream, our desire, our want to touch lives of women 40 plus.
Right.
Helping them to live that spicy life. It is time, green light, go. We not slowing down, baby. We not stopping.
Right.
We're not doing none of that. We are all gas and no brakes. So yes, yes, yes. Spicy challenge. We need you to bring the people to liking our page. We got to let more people know about Spicy Season Sisters.
Sisters, yes.
Okay, and the Spicy Squad. So bring them on, bring them on, bring them on like popcorn. No.
Hey, Lily.
Love it.
Thank you, Lily.
Lily.
Lily, we women of a certain age, and sometimes our minds don't be calculating those dates properly. So thank you for keeping aunties straight.
Please and thank you.
Yes, yes.
Oh,
yes.
that little internet demon got Renee
you were
again
frozen.
tonight.
It was a great frozen picture too, and I didn't get a chance to capture
Oh,
it.
at least it was cute. Okay.
It was cute.
Uh-oh.
That's not a good one. I'm not
the
gonna
internet demon got her again. Lord.
Yeah.
Yes,
We're gonna have to douse Renee internet with some holy water. Who got some oil over there? We're gonna go to Renee's house and put some oil on that modem.
This gotta stop. I'm gonna call these people. I'm gonna call my internet people and let them have a couple of nice words.
Yeah.
This has got to stop. We paid our bill, I promise. Okay. Yeah, we're getting ready to go. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Share it out. Please go on our pages. Talk about how you loved what we were doing and the conversation. And it was deep, but hopefully I feel like it has helped you all, helped some people. I know we all feel that way. So continue to share this out. Thank you, Coach Ella. We appreciate you. We appreciate each and every one of you all. Thank you. If you are new on this podcast tonight, if you would put a 1 in the comments, we love to see who's new. We're going to start doing that every week because we need to see our new people. If you're new, if this your second time here, put a 2. If you are already spicy, spicy, hot, and we put a 3 because you've been here over and over and over. Put a 3 in the comments. We want to see ya. We love our spicy.
Yes. She froze. Oh, she's
we
okay.
Love it. We love it. We love it. Y'all be showing up and showing out. Look at them 3.
Yes.
Okay, Sonia, I know that's right. Come through, Spicy Squad.
Yes, Sonia.
Come through, Spicy Squad.
Lily
we love
with the
it.
3.
We love it.
All right.
Love it, love it, love
Thank
it.
y'all so much.
Okay. So thank you all for being with us tonight. You all have a great evening, and we will see you next Thursday. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.